The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Welcome to McGeeUncensored podcast, and as always, I am your host, McGee. Let me tell you something. I did not get my driver's license until I was 27 years old. That may be hard to believe, but it's very true. Fact is, when I was younger, I was afraid to drive. Plus, at 16, where was I really going to go? In high school, I really didn't go anywhere. I had either family take me to marching band practice or basketball. It wasn't much for me to do or to go. So I don't have any regret at not getting my license at 16. There's some regret getting it as late as I did at 27, but I still got it. Looking back, it would have been nice if like the summer of 2005. And the funny thing is, after high school, I went to community college, and there were no residence hall dorms on campus. So I relied on good people, friends, some high school classmates as a ride. And I never wanted to feel like I was a burden. That was something always in the back of my head. I said, man, I hope I'm not, to them think I'm using them as a ride. I can't believe I went to community college for 3 years. And I'll have some stories later on in one of the episodes about my days at community college, what I still can remember and recall. Now, not all of those rides were reliable. Some were very unreliable. Some forgot to pick me up. Some may not have wanted to go to class that day. So it is somewhat of a small miracle that I made it through community college, graduated, and then transferred out of there. I remember when people were starting to get their license, and I felt I was slowly being left out. But, that happens. It's not really a big deal all these years later. Once again, I don't think I really was missing out on anything. Ooh, let's go to the movie theater and get some popcorn, and that's it, really. I wasn't missing anything. I did see how people's attitudes change, though. But I can't fault people at 16, 17, 18. What I got tired of hearing as I was getting a little older was, hey, you going to get your license? And I'm thinking to myself, hey, you going to buy me a car? I wasn't being a lazy person back then. Like I said, I was afraid. I really had a fear of driving. And I got over that fear at age 27. But when I finished up community college, that was 2003. That would have been probably a more opportune time to go and finally get the license. I can't tell you how many times I renewed my permit. I want to say I got it at 18, I'm pretty sure. And 4, 5 times, something around that number. And once you become accustomed to going to the DMV, not that they knew me by name or face, they didn't. But you would see, well, maybe they would have a short fuse with people. When you would see the kind of people that would walk in to the DMV, I don't know what people were asking or what they actually needed, but I remember my trips there were pretty eventful. Just observation, looking around, and all I'm thinking is I just got to renew my permit, or I got to get a picture taken for an ID, or I'm coming to get my license. I have no idea why some people were there. It was kind of crazy. Some I remember just couldn't follow directions. It's pretty simple. They call your number, you go up, you say, this is what I got to do. Anyway. So yeah, about 21 or 22 is when I really should have got my license. Looking back. It's cost me, I don't know what it's really cost me, but my dating life hasn't really taken off since I've got my license, so it doesn't really seem like it really matters. Went out to California University of Pennsylvania. Don't really want to shamelessly plug them in my podcast, but I will. got to meet a real good group of friends there, and I have a totally separate episode set up here soon to talk about my first year there and how it changed. It was like, where am I going to take these women? Hey, who wants to go to the Vulcan Theater and watch the free movie of the week? Like, what's date night going to be? Getting breadsticks from the food court? Hey, let's take a walk around campus. And ironically, I walked to get everywhere I needed to go when at KLU. So again, I didn't see the need for a license at the time, but I knew that I had to get my license at a time. And since I got my license, I really haven't had many women in my car to begin with. I think, if I'm not taking them from the bar, and let me take that back, it's a ride to take them to a house or something. I'm not like, picking them up at the bar. I don't do that. There's really not much to pick up at the bars. It's really, I drive around by myself where I have to go. I have like a very small mile comfort radius that I drive to and from. I have a 99 Pontiac Grand Prix. I love it. It's a good car. It gets me to point A to point B. I keep the upkeep on it. I know a little bit of what to do, have a family friend look at it once in a while when there's an issue that arises that I can't take care of myself. Nothing fancy. I'm really not that fancy of a guy. Oh, you think you're fancy, but I'm not. I'm pretty simple when it comes to things like that. I did get, tired of hearing, if I'm going to, hey, you get your license. God, that did kind of bug me, because I didn't feel pressured to, go and get my license. I just knew that I needed to be comfortable in getting over the fear of it. And eventually I overcame that fear. It was when I was finally done with college. I was done, and I said I had a goal for myself in that summer of 2009. I said, I'm going to get my license. And I went, I practiced with my mom. I know it was kind of, it wasn't even embarrassing, it was, parallel parking. And I haven't parallel parked since I needed to pass the actual test. And I don't see the need for me to parallel park. I'll squeeze in somewhere. If my parking spot at home is taken, or I feel that, oh man, the only way I'm going to get in there if I parallel park, I will try to find a more open space just to pull into. I just can't, I don't know. I don't have the updated car where I could have a rear view camera and it could guide me. I'd build a garage if I had the money, but my alley's kind of trashy because all these abandoned houses around me. I wish the city would do something to knock these houses down already. Vermin running everywhere. But I digress. I'm actually a pretty decent driver, There are some people that I won't get into a car with anymore. They don't know that. I'm not giving them by names, but I value my life. I want to have my life in my own hands, in my control, and not by somebody who is a nervous driver or who knows what could happen. I can't put that in their hands. I will not put my life in their hands. That's probably another reason why it took me so long to finally go and pull the trigger and get the license, is realizing that I can only control what I can control as far as my driving and being responsible at it, and can't control everybody else on the road. You just got to pay attention all the time. You never know what's going to happen. I'd like to travel more, but I don't know where I want to go, or where I have nothing in my mind. Well, I do have some destinations, but I'd probably rent a better car. I want to get to Chicago one time just to see what it's like. But see, I live south of Pittsburgh, and to be honest, there's just always too much construction, and it just seems too clustered. The city of Pittsburgh and the South Side. And, I'm not a big fan of the South Side, really, or going down to Pittsburgh. So I have no reason to go there. Not even if I meet a woman off a dating site, which and that's another episode. I hate going to Pittsburgh. I wish I had a DeLorean that flew, like in Back to the Future. I didn't care about time travel. But, just I could hover over the traffic and find my spot. But, maybe in another life. I mean, obviously, yeah, I want to go and visit some college buddies of mine more often. The distance is somewhat of a hindrance. Anything over an hour kind of sucks. Well, I won't say anything over an hour. God, that sounds like a little complaining. But to go see some people, it would take almost a whole day, and that kind of sucks that I can't just take maybe a 15-minute drive to go see somebody and then not come home. Because by the time I get to some of these places, I really don't have much time to hang out. So, as I wrap up this mini episode and about me getting my license at 27, oh man, yeah, I wish I did have it in college, because I went over there over the summer and, had a lot of fun with people. And, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? No time to, be hung up about stuff that is over and done with. So if you have any suggestions for me about, hey man, McGee, get in your car and drive and go somewhere, let me know where. And then maybe I'll consider it if I feel it's a worthy adventure. Until next time, this is McGee Uncensored Podcast saying, hey, who wants to go to the Vulcan?